Lovely. Well, we had a great discussion around our table. We discussed things from drugs down to road safety and fire. We've come up with 3 priorities. The first priority being levels of policing. This has nothing to do with me being sat on the table, by the way. This is basically, we are a very safe area, Malmesbury and the villages. I think most of the crime statistics make us the second safest town in Wiltshire, apart from drugs, where we're 10th, but I think that's down to the proactiveness of the officers in the town and the intelligence that the community give us. So we want to, or the community want to ensure that we remain safe by keeping the levels of policing there on the streets, working with our partners and the community, building on the intelligence which makes the town and the villages a much safer place to be. Because if we're not safe for crime, then people aren't going to go to bed at night feeling safe, and their well-being is going to be reduced and they become ill, etc. So we'll have a knock-on effect. So number 1, levels of policing. The second one was parental responsibilities, social responsibilities. First of all, this linked into the Safe Drive, Stay Alive campaign. So we have a big rural area in Malmesbury, lots of open roads, not necessarily always sorted because they're unclassified. And so unfortunately we have a lot of serious injury, road traffic collisions involving death and serious life-changing conditions. So what can we do as parents and carers to make sure that people remain safe? Should we be driving that campaign out to parents and carers? How can we do that as the community? Also, the same thing with linking with the support and advice that we need to offer to some parents and carers who find coping with young people and teenagers, because it's a difficult time. I think everyone in the room has gone through that stage. Coping with drugs, coping with going out to the pub for the first time, coping with things like social networking. Sometimes actually there's a lot of support there for the young people, but is there enough support for the parents and the carer? Something like a drop-in session. There was one that operated in Chippenham in relation to parents of drug users, young drug users. It's just nice to know that you're not on your own, isolated, and coping with it on your own. The final one was fire advocates and ambassadors, and we've talked earlier on about the money being locked up in people's houses, not necessarily the money to spend on the prevention side of it. The fire service operate a very good scheme, going out there, giving advice, etc., on how to prevent fires, but there's not enough of them. Money's always limited, but could we have ambassadors in the villages, in the community, that could link in with the fire service, that know the community, that have the trust and confidence in the communities, that could report those vulnerable people to the fire service to make their places even more safe? And we, as the police service, already report vulnerable people to the fire service, but that's only if we've got the permission of those people. So there's a lot of good things there. It's really important to know that a lot of these things we can do as a community, and it's involving you. So if you want to get involved in any of those, contact Miranda, fill the details in on the bottom of your form, and get involved, because we want to keep Malmesbury very safe as it is. Thank you.